I'm Rebecca Gomez. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving.
And I am Cody Willard, and this is where it's always 5 o'clock somewhere.
I know, definitely. You notice we're doing the show early today, 3 hours early. But don't fret, the bar's still packed here.
People are still drinking.
Hey, it is a holiday weekend after all. And you know what? If they were out shopping, they probably need to take a rest. Savvy shoppers wait for bargains, whether they are on Main Street or Wall Street, for that matter. Today, bargain hunters were out in force, everywhere from supermarkets to stock markets. The Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 181 points. The Dow and the S&P both gained about 1.5%. The Nasdaq rose more than 1%, and the Fox 50 gaining 1.4%.
Big day at the markets.
Yeah, and you know, financials basically leading the way with the Dow, AIG, American Express, Citigroup, JP Morgan, Chase, all gaining more than 2%. We'll talk about all those stocks.
Even Freddie Mac Financial is up a little bit.
What the heck's going on with them? Well, on Main Street as well, bargain shoppers appear to have been lured in significant numbers by early bird discounts. But there are questions as to whether all that customer traffic will remain high throughout the so-called Black Friday, let alone the remainder of the season. And I can understand why they're lured in initially. I mean, there's some pretty big discounts. I was reading out there that they were offering Sony laptops for like $400, and they were offering 42-inch big screen TV Panasonics nonetheless for $900.
I think Dave Ramsey would point out, though, that if you go into these things this morning, you're spending thousands of dollars to save thousands of dollars. You're still spending thousands of dollars. You know, I just be careful out there. Again, I'm quoting Dave again. The marketers have a game plan. You better have one too.
And we're going to get into that in our personal finance segment in the coming up. We have a personal finance expert, and I'm going to ask her these questions. You know, like, is it really a deal? You're going out there, you're getting bargains, yes, but I bet you're spending a lot more as well. And I also wanted to tell people, you know, the whole Black Friday, you know, we throw this term around.
Notice I'm wearing black for Black Friday.
Apropos, definitely. The reason it's called Black Friday is because this is apparently at this point today, the retailers move into the black from the red. They make about 50 to 70% of their profits starting today throughout the holiday season. But we've all come to know Black Friday as it being the kickoff to the holiday shopping season. But there is a financial terminology to all this.
A month or so ago, I got an email from one of our producers talking about Black Friday, and I was picturing the market crashing Black Friday, and then it finally made sense to me.
That's in October, yeah. They also try to find what are the hottest things out there, and there's really not one big hot item. Electronics seem to be one among the most popular.
But even there's not a specific. There's no iPod, no iPhone, nothing that's brand new. Yeah, nothing brand new that's must own for the season.
Right. Although, you know, with the dollar being so low and you have all these foreigners coming in, they were saying at the Canadian border, the Detroit-Windsor Tunnel, there was a backup of like 30 minutes because they're coming in. And then I was talking to somebody from London, and they're also coming here to buy the electronics like the iPod because they're cheaper here for one than overseas, and then they have the financial backing of their currency being so much stronger than ours, and they're going to be snapping up all these electronics.
And that's why we're not going to Europe this weekend, right? I mean, that's why nobody's traveling to Europe.
Were you planning on taking me to Europe?
You wanted to go to Italy, didn't you?
Gee, I'll go.
But I mean that seriously. That you can't. There is such a again, that dollar continuing to collapse makes travel much more expensive for us, but it makes the U.S. so much cheaper for the foreigners. And you know, and by the way, we should mention the markets real quick. The markets were open today, at least for half a day.
Yeah, closed about an hour ago.
Yeah, and they were on fire. You know, and basically, I mean, you had that crash, if you want to call it that, on Wednesday.
Yeah, 211-point drop.
And you're going to bounce back a little bit today. You can call it noise or not, but historically speaking, by the way, the Friday of Thanksgiving week typically up big. It's usually like this.
And the other thing too is you got to remember that with the volume being so low, because a lot of people are taking vacation right now, the traders are out. So any particular type of movement is going to have that much more thunder.
And if you actually think that through, it makes total sense. You know, if you're out there and you've got, say, $1 million that you want to put into a particular stock, today's not the day you probably ought to do it. If it's, you know, if it's not I'm talking about smaller cap stocks. If you're actually trying to do that, just putting that $1 million into, say, a $100 million company on a day like today, you're going to jack it up 3, 4, 5, even 10%.
And we also, even though, we're going to be reporting throughout the show that, the stores were packed, you're going to see video of people waiting at 4 and 5 a.m., sometimes camping out to go into these retailers. Keep in mind that last year the same thing happened. We had a great day after Thanksgiving start to the shopping season, but things slowed down in December, and it amounted to not a great Christmas and holiday shopping center and Hanukkah for the retailers.
Are you going to spend a dime today?
Not today, but I've spent a lot of money online already, so I've shopped online as well. But they are expecting this to be the weakest sales growth in 5 years, but they still expect them to be in
a little bit of
positive territory. So
let's bring Todd Harrison out to talk a little bit more about this retail.